Welcome to yoga for during your period. We know that many women suffer from pain and discomfort during the times of their periods, so this is to try to provide a little bit of relief. You can use it during any point of your period. So begin with just shaking out a little bit, maybe moving your body from side to side and coming down slowly to your mat. And I invite you to come into Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And before you come to complete stillness, maybe move your hips around and take some deep breaths in to establish the connection between your movement and your breath. I've joined my forefinger and thumb in a mudra to allow energy to flow in. Any yoga practice should include pranayama, breath work. So I'm beginning with lion's breath, which requires breathing in deeply and exhaling and opening your jaw, sticking your tongue out, and really releasing. So inhale with me deeply and release. You can keep doing these lion's breaths, but now we're going to start bringing our hands up and around through heart center and stretching through our side bodies, beginning with the left side. Slowly bringing it through center and going to our right side body. Remembering to extend through your back and not pressing any pressure into your body, just doing what feels good. I invite you to bring some forward and backward movement, lifting your sits bones, circling your chest down and around. Remembering to breathe, maybe breathing in as we go forward, breathing out as we go backwards. And reverse to the other direction. Nice and easy. Don't do anything that's not serving your body right now. And breathe through to center. And if this feels good for you, do a little bit of a side stretch before letting your feet come out and joining me in half fish pose. So your elbow is pressed towards your knee and your hands are connected near your heart space, releasing through the heart chakra. Give yourself a little love for coming to the mat during your period. And going to the other side, breathing all the way. When you're ready, we're gonna shake out our legs and slowly bend forward to whatever point feels good for you, whether it's the knees, ankles, or even all the way to your toes. Wherever you are, you can pat or press down on that part of the body to let the energy flow. Slowly come up, maybe shaking and releasing through your shoulders as you do so. And make your way onto your back. From here, I invite you to stretch out your legs. Have your palms face up to the ceiling. And we're kind of in Savasana, resting pose right now, just as a little transition. Continue to breathe in and out on your own pace. We're going to come into Palmankutasana, which is wind relieving pose in English. So you bring up your left leg towards your chest, hug it in, and keep your other foot pointed. And move around. If you like a little hip opening, you can stretch your foot out and switch over to your right side. Again, hugging it in, giving yourself a little self-love, and moving a little bit to the side, again, if that feels good for your hips. Okay, so then you can extend it out and bring your hands above your head in a full body stretch. This is great for full body release. And here, I'm going to invite you to join me in some pranayama, breathing through your stomach, then through your chest, and through your throat, and then releasing through your stomach, chest, and throat. This is called 3-part breath. So keep breathing in. So with the next exhale, we can start to begin moving our bodies once again, having our hands come down past our shoulder, loosening them up, and transitioning into boat pose, where you lift your sit bones and your back with your feet pointed forward and your hands extended as well. And just breathe here a little bit before we come back to the mat for a rest. Slowly going down. Maybe bring your hands to your chest and feel your heart beating. And ask yourself how you're feeling. And if you like, you can keep resting or bring yourself up back to boat pose for a second time. Trying to send the energy through your feet and your hands, as well as your back and your thighs. Slowly again, returning to your mat. Breathe in deeply and release. When you breathe in again, we're going to come up to our 3rd boat pose and final boat pose. If you need to bring some movement to your neck, feel free to turn from side to side if that feels good for you. And instead of coming back to the mat, we're going to push forward if possible, again into Sukhasana, easy seated pose. And from there, we transition into Bandhasana, butterflies pose or bound ankle pose. And bring some movement into your knees. Again, put your chest slightly forward and your head down. Moving here as it feels good for you. I kind of like to rotate up and down. From here, extend your legs forward again. And I'm just releasing through my shoulders a little bit, doing some backward circles, releasing through my legs, wiggling them out, returning to a little bit of a seated forward bend. And slowly rolling up through my spine and transitioning onto all fours for tabletop. With a deep breath in, I'm going to extend my left arm forward and my right leg back. And variations of this include just lifting either your leg or your arm instead of both, or just going into child's pose for some relaxation. If you have chosen to extend your arm and leg, send some energy through each of them and be active in this pose. When you're ready, return to tabletop position and switch to your right arm forward and left leg back. It's okay if you're a little unsteady, as I am. At your own pace, we're going to come back into tabletop and push through into extended child's pose or child's pose, whichever you prefer. And even though this is a resting pose, you're still actively stretching through your back and having your hands up to whatever level of comfort you have. You always have the option to remain in Balasana, child's pose. If you're ready to come up, we're going to do some cat-cow sequences. So beginning with a breath in and arching your back into cow and releasing the breath and arching through to cat. And you can keep going through this as fast or slow as you like. And I love to add some wiggling movement to it to release through the back. Breathing all the while. You can rock back and forth on your hands and knees. Even teasing a little bit back into Balasana, child's pose and up again. When you're ready, come down onto your stomach on the mat with your elbows close to your sides. And when you breathe in, you can bring your neck up slightly into baby cobra, turning your head side to side. Turning back to your mat with your left cheek pressed to the ground. Breathing in and out. With a deep breath in, bring your head up again into baby cobra and repeating that motion, looking side to side. You can have a little fun with it and make a sound. And when you breathe in and come up for the third time, if it feels okay for you, you can come into the full cobra, which is a little bit more extended, arms not bent at the elbows, and again, moving your neck side to side. Coming down slowly onto your mat, you can push through, back into tabletop, and then back into Balasana, child's pose. We'll stay here for some deep breaths in and out. From here, we can make our way onto our back slowly. I did it in a little bit of a roundabout way, so however you want to do it. Coming to a flat back and then extending our legs towards our chest. Rocking side to side a little bit and then grabbing the bottom of your feet and sides of your feet into happy baby, Ananda Balasana, and rocking back and forth. And of course, if you can't reach your toes, that's totally normal. Just grab your ankles or your shins or even your knees and just incorporate a little rocking motion. And eventually we're going to take that rock forward and backwards. And we're coming towards the end of our practice, so release that energy through your legs. Bring your knees to your chest or as close as you can in an embrace. Again, thanking yourself for being here today and for making an effort to relieve any stress going on in your body, natural or otherwise. And then release onto the mat into Savasana, final resting pose. If you'd like to, bring your right hand to your stomach and your left hand to your chest. And practice again that 3-part breath in through your belly, then through your chest, then through your throat, releasing in the same order through your belly, chest, and then throat. I'll be here for a little bit. So while you continue your breathing, your breath of choice, maybe bring your attention to how your body's feeling. And I know when something hurts or something's off, we can pay a lot of attention to that, but what's feeling good after your practice today? Maybe your hips are opened or your legs are feeling stretched. Start bringing the attention back into your body, maybe wiggling a little bit, your feet or your toes. Once you're ready, flipping onto your side body. To transition back to easy seated pose, you can push up from the floor. Softly cross your legs again. Again, taking what measures you need to come to stillness with your spine straightened, your shoulders down. Here, I'll ask that you take a deep breath in with me, bringing your arms up and around to the top where they meet and center and come through the heart space. Repeating that once more. And then one final inhale, coming with the hands to heart center. Now we breathe in together, and whoever would like, we're going to make the Om sound. Thank you very much for practicing yoga with me today, and congratulations for doing something good for your body, mind, and soul. If you like this video, feel free to share it, and to check out the Taylor-Adepoju Group, an emerging social enterprise.